The phone screen glows in the dark. 3 words, unknown number. This date feels wrong. Jamal's hands shake as he reads it again. The penthouse bedroom smells like vanilla candles and expensive cologne. Marcus is sent everywhere, even when he's not here. Outside the floor-to-ceiling windows, Manhattan bleeds orange and purple, the city swallowing the last piece of daylight. 7 months pregnant, and Jamal can't stop staring at those words. His stomach twists, not the baby kicking, something else. Something cold crawling up his spine. The silk sheets feel too smooth against his skin. Everything in this room costs more than most people make in a year. The BVL Gari lamp on the nightstand, the custom Hermes throw blanket, the Patek Philippe watch Marcus left on the dresser this morning before he disappeared into whatever dark business keeps him away for days. Hi viewers, kindly tell us where you're watching from and what time it is. Jamal's thumb hovers over the screen. He should delete it, block the number, but something stops him. That word, date. Today is October 15th, their anniversary. 6 months since Marcus put that diamond collar around his neck in front of his entire organization, claimed him as his omega in a room full of killers, and called it love. The baby moves, a flutter against his ribs that usually makes him smile. Not tonight. His phone buzzes again. I'm coming for you, it's too late to back out. The room suddenly feels smaller. The candles flicker even though the windows are closed. Jamal's heart slams against his chest so hard it hurts. He reaches for the panic button Marcus installed on the nightstand, a small black square that connects directly to Marcus's security team, but his fingers freeze an inch away. What if Marcus sent these messages? The thought hits him like ice water. What if this is some kind of test? The Mafia world runs on loyalty and paranoia, and Marcus LaValle didn't build his empire by trusting anyone, not even the omega carrying his child. Jamal pulls his hand back, wraps his arms around his swollen belly instead. The baby kicks again, stronger this time, like it knows something's wrong. The penthouse door clicks open downstairs. Footsteps, heavy, deliberate, moving through the marble foyer toward the spiral staircase. Jamal's breath catches. Marcus always announces himself, calls out, makes noise, gives warning. These footsteps are silent except for the deliberate weight of each step. Someone who wants him to hear, someone who wants him afraid. He slides off the bed, every movement awkward with the weight of the pregnancy. His bare feet hit the cold hardwood. The footsteps reach the landing, stop outside the bedroom door. The handle turns. The door swings open. Marcus fills the doorframe, 6'4" of controlled violence wrapped in a charcoal Tom Ford suit that probably costs more than a car. His dark skin catches the candlelight, the tattoo on his neck disappearing beneath his collar. The scent of gunpowder clings to him underneath the cologne. His eyes find Jamal immediately, scanning him head to toe, cataloging every detail like he's searching for damage. Why aren't you wearing your necklace? Marcus's voice comes out smooth, but there's an edge underneath. The diamond collar, 3 carats of claimed property, sits in its velvet box on the vanity. Jamal hasn't put it on in 3 days. I was sleeping. The lie tastes metallic. Jamal's phone burns in his hand behind his back. Marcus steps inside, closes the door with a soft click that sounds too much like a lock engaging. You sleep with your phone now. Everything about this moment feels like standing on the edge of a cliff. The luxury apartment suddenly looks different, the custom furniture, the designer clothes spilling from the walk-in closet, the view of Central Park from the private terrace. All of it beautiful, all of it a cage. Jamal met Marcus in a club 6 months ago, the kind of place where bottles cost thousands and everyone knows not to ask questions. Marcus had appeared beside him at the bar, ordered him a drink without asking what he wanted, and somehow knew exactly what he needed. That first night, Marcus had been magnetic, dangerous and gentle in the same breath, powerful enough to make Jamal feel safe for the first time in his life. The pregnancy happened fast, too fast, but Marcus had smiled when Jamal told him, had pulled him close and whispered promises about protection and family and forever, had introduced him to his organization the next week, put that collar around his neck, and told a room full of criminals that anyone who touched Jamal would die screaming. Jamal believed him, believed all of it. Now Marcus crosses the room with the patience of a predator who knows the prey can't escape. His hand reaches out, cups Jamal's jaw with surprising gentleness. His thumb brushes across Jamal's cheekbone. The touch should feel comforting. Instead, it feels like being measured. You're scared, not a question. Marcus can read him like a book. What happened? This is the moment. Jamal could show him the messages. Let Marcus handle it, because Marcus handles everything with money or violence or both. But something stops him. That nagging question that won't let go. What if Marcus already knows about the messages? What if this is exactly what he wants? Jamal cornered, vulnerable, dependent. Nothing happened. Jamal keeps his voice steady. You've been gone 4 days. I'm pregnant and alone in this apartment. I'm always scared. Something flickers across Marcus's face. Pain maybe, or calculation. His hand drops from Jamal's jaw, slides down to rest on his swollen belly. The baby kicks against his palm and Marcus's whole body softens. I'm building something for you, for our family. His voice drops lower, intimate. Everything I do is to keep you safe. You know that, right? Jamal wants to believe him. God, he wants to believe him so badly it physically hurts. His phone buzzes between them. Marcus's eyes snap to Jamal's hand. Who's texting you at 10 p.m.? The temperature in the room plummets. Jamal can feel his heartbeat in his throat. Marcus's expression hasn't changed, still calm, still patient, but the air pressure feels different, like right before a storm breaks. Nobody, probably spam. Jamal's fingers tighten around the phone. Show me. 2 words, spoken soft as a prayer and hard as a command. Jamal's mind races through options. Show him the messages and risk whatever test this might be. Refuse and confirm Marcus's suspicions. Delete them and... The phone buzzes again. Marcus's jaw tightens. His hand leaves Jamal's stomach, reaches for the phone. Jamal steps back. Don't. The word hangs between them like a gun being cocked. Marcus goes very, very still. Outside the windows, sirens wail somewhere in the city. A helicopter passes overhead, searchlight cutting through the darkness. Don't, Marcus repeats the word like he's never heard it before, like Jamal just spoke a foreign language. I need space, just 5 minutes, please. Marcus studies him for what feels like an eternity. Then he nods once, sharp and final. 5 minutes, then we talk about whatever's on that phone. And Jamal, he pauses at the door. I've killed men for less than keeping secrets from me. But you're carrying my child, so I'm giving you 5 minutes to remember who protects you in this city. The door closes behind him, not a slam, worse, a gentle, controlled click. Jamal looks at his phone. 7 new messages, all from the unknown number. The first one makes his blood run cold. Marcus doesn't know I'm here yet, but he will. Ask him about Darian. Jamal types the name into his phone with shaking fingers. DAIAN. The search results load slowly, each second stretching like hours. Marcus's footsteps pace the hallway outside, back and forth, the sound of a caged animal counting down 5 minutes. Nothing, no social media profiles, no news articles, no obituaries. The name exists in a void. His phone buzzes, another message. He was Marcus's last Omega, before the happy ending Marcus sold you. The words blur together. Jamal reads them 3 times before they make sense. Last Omega. The room tilts slightly. He sits on the edge of the bed before his legs give out. Marcus never mentioned anyone before, never brought up past relationships. Jamal had assumed, stupidly, desperately, that what they had was unique, special, the kind of bond that only happens once. Another message, check the locked drawer in Marcus's office, 3rd from the bottom, code is your due date. This feels like a trap. Every instinct screams at him to stop, to call Marcus back in, to let him explain. But Jamal's already moving, sliding his feet into slippers, wrapping a robe around his pregnant belly. The hallway stretches dark and empty. Marcus's office sits at the end of the corridor, the door slightly ajar. He shouldn't do this. Shouldn't invade Marcus's private space. Shouldn't trust anonymous messages from someone who wants to hurt them. But his hand pushes the door open anyway. The office smells like leather and old books. Floor-to-ceiling shelves line 3 walls, filled with first editions that Marcus actually reads. The desk sits in front of the windows, a massive mahogany piece that probably survived the Italian Renaissance. Jamal has been in here 100 times, always invited, always welcome. Never alone. The 3rd drawer from the bottom has a small digital lock. Jamal's fingers hover over the keypad. His due date, 2/14, Valentine's Day. Marcus had laughed when the doctor told them, said it was fate. The lock clicks open. Inside sits a single leather journal. Expensive, hand-bound, the kind of thing Marcus would buy. Jamal lifts it out with trembling hands. The pages fall open to a photo tucked inside, a Polaroid old and faded. 2 people, Marcus, younger but unmistakable, and another man, smaller, delicate, with light brown skin and eyes that look too big for his face. Marcus's arm wraps around him, possessive and protective. They're both smiling. Jamal flips the photo over. 2 words written in Marcus's handwriting, Darian, mine. The journal pages tell a story Jamal doesn't want to read. Dates spanning 3 years. Entries about Darian's favorite restaurants, his fears, his dreams. Marcus's handwriting grows increasingly tight, controlled, obsessive. The last entry stops mid-sentence. Darian tried to leave today. I can't. The rest of the page is blank. The next 20 pages are blank. Then one final entry, dated 2 years ago. Some mistakes can't be undone. Some losses teach you what you're capable of. I won't make the same mistake twice. Next time I'll know better. Next time I'll make sure they can't leave. Footsteps in the hallway, closer now. Jamal shoves the journal back in the drawer, but his hands fumble the lock. The drawer won't close. The code panel flashes red, locked him out after 1 use. Jamal, Marcus's voice carries from the hallway. 5 minutes are up. The drawer sits open, damning evidence of broken trust. Jamal backs away from the desk, his hip hitting the corner with a sharp pain. The baby kicks frantically, sensing his panic. Marcus appears in the doorway. His eyes go immediately to the open drawer, to Jamal's guilty face, to the space between them that suddenly feels like a chasm. I can explain, Marcus says quietly, too quietly. You had someone before me. Jamal's voice comes out stronger than he feels. You had Darian. Marcus's expression doesn't change. That's somehow worse than anger. That's what you found. That's what you were looking for. I wasn't looking for anything. Someone told me. Jamal stops, realizes his mistake too late. Someone told you. Marcus steps into the office, closes the door behind him with his foot, never breaking eye contact. The same someone who's been texting you all night. The someone you're protecting instead of trusting your alpha. Where is he? Jamal demands. Where's Darian? Dead, the word lands like a physical blow. Marcus says it with no emotion, no hesitation. He died 2 years ago. How? Marcus moves closer, each step deliberate. Does it matter? Yes, Jamal stands his ground even though every cell in his body screams to run. It matters if you killed him. The silence stretches too long. Marcus stops 3 feet away, close enough to touch, far enough to give Jamal space to breathe. Darian tried to leave me. Marcus's voice drops to barely a whisper. After everything I gave him, protection, money, love, he tried to run, so I made it impossible for him to run anywhere. The temperature in the room drops 20 degrees. Jamal's hand instinctively covers his belly. What does that mean? It means I'm very good at keeping what's mine. Marcus's eyes flicker to Jamal's stomach. And you're mine, Jamal, you and our baby. Nothing changes that. Not anonymous texts, not old journals, not whatever doubts are crawling through your head right now. A car alarm goes off somewhere outside. The sound feels distant, wrong, like it's happening in a different reality. Jamal's phone buzzes in his pocket. He doesn't need to look at it to know what it says. Marcus's eyes track the movement. Give me the phone, not a request anymore. No. Marcus's jaw tightens. I've been patient, I've given you space. I've let you question me in my own home, but that ends now. Give me the phone or I'll take it. Something crashes downstairs. The sound of breaking glass, loud and violent, then shouting male voices, multiple coming from the penthouse entrance. Marcus's hand moves to the gun holstered under his jacket. His whole body shifts into combat mode, predator instincts taking over. Get in the closet, lock the door, don't come out until I tell you. Marcus. Now, he pushes Jamal toward the closet, gentle but firm. If I don't come back in 10 minutes, there's a panic room behind the false wall. Code is the baby's heartbeat from the last ultrasound. 148. Go. Maury crashing downstairs. Gunshots, sharp and rapid. Someone screams. Marcus runs for the door, weapon drawn. Jamal catches his arm. Is this about Darian? Marcus looks at him with something that might be regret, might be resignation. Darian's been dead for 2 years, but his brother Terrence, his expression hardens. Terrence has been waiting for the perfect moment to take everything from me, and you just gave it to him. He pulls free and disappears into the hallway. Maury gunshots, closer now. Jamal's phone lights up with one final message. Come downstairs alone or everyone dies, including Marcus. You have 60 seconds. Jamal counts to 30 before he opens the closet door. The hallway outside Marcus's office smells like cordite and expensive carpet. Smoke drifts up from downstairs, not thick enough to be a fire, just enough to make breathing uncomfortable. His pregnant belly makes moving quietly impossible. Every step feels like announcing his presence. The rational part of his brain screams at him to go back, to hide, to trust Marcus. But rationality doesn't explain the journal or Darian's photo, or the way Marcus said dead, like he was commenting on the weather. At the top of the stairs, Jamal peers down into the main floor. The penthouse looks like a war zone. The custom Italian furniture is overturned. The Venetian glass coffee table, Marcus's favorite piece, inherited from his grandmother, lies shattered across the marble. 3 of Marcus's security guards are face down in the entrance hallway. Jamal can't tell if they're breathing. Marcus stands in the center of it all, gun raised, facing 5 men dressed in black tactical gear. They form a semicircle around him, weapons trained but not firing, like they're waiting for something. "Terrence," Marcus's voice carries clearly up the stairs, "you bring amateurs into my home." One of the men steps forward, removes his mask. The resemblance to the photo of Darian hits Jamal like a fist, same delicate features, same 2 big eyes. But where Darian looked soft in that Polaroid, Terrence looks carved from stone. "You killed my brother." Terrence's voice shakes with barely controlled rage. "You kept him locked in this golden cage, and when he tried to fly away, you clipped his wings permanently. Your brother overdosed." Marcus doesn't lower his weapon. "Fentanyl-laced pills, tragic accident. The coroner ruled it accidental." "The coroner you paid off." Terrence takes another step closer. "Darian left me voicemails the day he died, 5 of them, begging me to help him escape, telling me you threatened to hurt our mother if he tried to leave. The last one," his voice cracks. "The last one, he said if anything happened to him, it wasn't an accident." Jamal's hand grips the banister so hard his knuckles ache. The pieces of the story rearrange themselves into something much darker. Marcus, who brings him breakfast in bed. Marcus, who reads poetry to the baby through Jamal's stomach. Marcus, who might have murdered his last Omega for trying to leave. "So what's the plan?" Marcus keeps his gun steady. "You kill me, you think that makes you even?" "Not even close." Terrence gestures and 2 of his men move toward the stairs. "But taking your new pet, watching you lose everything you think you own, that's a start." The men reach the bottom of the staircase. Jamal has maybe 10 seconds before they spot him. He could run back to the panic room, lock himself in, let Marcus handle this however he handles things, with violence and money, and the kind of power that rewrites coroner's reports. Or he could go down there, step into the middle of this nightmare, and force both of them to see him as something other than a possession to be fought over. His phone buzzes, text from an unknown number, not the same one as before, different area code. "North Service elevator. Keys under the mat, car waiting on sublevel 2, go now or stay forever. A friend." A way out, a real way out, not just moving from one cage to another. Jamal could disappear into the city, lose himself in the millions of people who don't care about mafia wars or alpha bonds or 7-month pregnancies. The baby kicks hard against his ribs, like a reminder, like a question. Terrence's men reach the landing, spot him, weapons swing in his direction. "Don't shoot," Terrence's command echoes off the marble. He comes down unharmed, or this gets messy. Marcus's head whips around, sees Jamal standing at the top of the stairs. The expression that crosses his face is complicated, fury and fear and something that might be betrayal. "I told you to hide." "He's done hiding from you." Terrence keeps his weapon trained on Marcus but his eyes on Jamal. "Aren't you ready to stop pretending this is love instead of ownership?" The men on the landing wait. Marcus waits. Terrence waits. The whole room holds its breath. Jamal takes 1 step down the stairs, then another. His hand stays on the railing for balance. At 7 months pregnant, dramatic escapes aren't really an option, but neither is staying still. "Jamal, don't." Marcus's voice cracks on his name. "Whatever he told you, whatever you think I did." "You kept a journal about Darian." Jamal interrupts him. Detailed entries about his favorite foods, his schedule, his fears, like he was a project, like he was something you owned. "I loved him." Marcus's gun lowers slightly. "I loved him and he betrayed me." "He tried to leave." "That's not betrayal, that's survival." "In my world, they're the same thing." Marcus's face hardens. "You don't understand what it takes to keep someone safe. The compromises, the necessary evils. Darian didn't understand either, and it got him killed." "You got him killed." Terrence's finger tightens on the trigger. "Say it, admit what you did." Jamal reaches the bottom of the stairs, stands between them, the alpha who claims to love him and the brother seeking vengeance. Both of them dangerous, both of them convinced they're right. "I'm not leaving with either of you." His voice comes out steadier than he feels. "I'm leaving alone." Marcus laughs, short, bitter, humorless. Leaving to where? You're 7 months pregnant. No money, no connections, no way to survive in this city without my protection. Then I'll figure it out somewhere else. Jamal heads toward the door. His legs feel like water, but he keeps moving. Terrence blocks his path. Hold on, you're not just walking out, you're my leverage. The only thing keeping Marcus from killing all of us right now is you standing here. Then shoot each other. Jamal's hands shake as he reaches for the door handle. Kill yourselves over pride and revenge, and whatever this is. I'm done being the prize in someone else's war. The door won't open. Locked, electronic deadbolt, controlled by Marcus's security system. Jamal's moment of brave defiance dies against bulletproof steel. Marcus's expression shifts into something victorious. I told you, there's no leaving. There's only staying safe or getting yourself killed trying. Outside the penthouse windows, helicopter searchlights sweep across the building. Then another, then 3 more, the distinctive wop-wop-wop of police choppers. Someone called the cops, either Marcus's security team or a neighbor who heard gunshots. Either way, this standoff is about to get much more complicated. Terrence swears under his breath, change of plans, we take him now, sort it out later. His men move forward. Marcus raises his weapon. Jamal backs against the locked door with nowhere to go. Then the lights cut out, all of them, the penthouse, the hallway, even the city lights visible through the windows. Backup generators kick in after 3 seconds, but it's enough time. Enough time for someone to grab Jamal from behind, a hand over his mouth, an arm around his waist, careful of the pregnancy. A voice whispers in his ear, North Elevator. Now, Marcus has 40 seconds before his generators route power back. Jamal doesn't recognize the voice, doesn't see the face, but the person knows the apartment layout, knows about the generators, knows exactly where to take him. They drag him down a service corridor he didn't even know existed. Behind them, shouting, Marcus's voice, Terrence's, someone screaming orders. The service elevator dings open. Keys sit under the mat, just like the text said. His rescuer shoves him inside, presses the button for sublevel 2, then steps back into the corridor. Wait, Jamal reaches for them, but the doors close too fast. The elevator descends, his ears pop, his heart races fast enough to make him dizzy. The baby kicks frantically, like it knows they're falling. Sublevel 2 opens onto a parking garage, concrete pillars, flickering fluorescent lights, and a black SUV with the engine running, driver's door open, waiting. Jamal hesitates. Every thriller movie he's ever seen flashes through his mind. The stupid character who gets in the mysterious car and ends up dismembered in a warehouse. His phone buzzes, same unknown number, car is clean, GPS disabled, $5,000 cash in the glove box, drive until morning, ditch the car in Connecticut, don't look back. Footsteps echo from the stairwell, heavy boots, multiple people. Marcus's security or Terrence's men or the police, doesn't matter, they're coming fast. Jamal gets in the car. The SUV handles like a tank. Jamal white-knuckles the steering wheel as he merges onto the FDR drive, every car behind him a potential threat. The $5,000 in the glove box feels like stolen money, like blood money, like the kind of cash that comes with strings attached even when it's supposed to be free. Manhattan slides past the windows, familiar streets transformed into enemy territory. He's lived here 8 months, but always saw it through Marcus's lens. The restaurants where Marcus had regular tables. The shops where Marcus's credit card opened doors. The city belonged to Marcus, and Jamal just existed inside it. Now he's alone in it, 7 months pregnant, driving a mysterious SUV, running from a Mafia boss who calls it love. His first instinct is to head north, Connecticut like the text suggested, maybe Maine after that, somewhere small and quiet where nobody asks questions. But at the George Washington Bridge, Jamal pulls off onto a side street instead, sits in the idling car with shaking hands. The rational plan is keep moving, the survival plan is disappear. But something nags at him, that journal, the way Marcus said Darian's name, the coroner's report that got rewritten. Jamal pulls out his phone, types Darian Mitchell Death New York into the search bar. The results load slowly, his hands keep shaking so hard he almost drops the phone. 3 articles, local news buried in the back pages. Rising artist dies of apparent overdose. The photo shows Darian at a gallery opening, smiling at the camera, Marcus's hand visible at the edge of the frame. The articles say accidental. The toxicology report said fentanyl. The family declined to comment, except that's not true, because here's Terrence tonight, very much willing to comment. Jamal scrolls through the articles looking for something, anything that doesn't fit. And there in the third article, a single line: Mitchell was found deceased in his apartment at the Apex building on the Upper East Side. The Apex, Jamal knows that building. Marcus owns the entire top 3 floors, uses them for business associates, which means people Marcus needs to keep close and controlled. Darian didn't just die, he died in Marcus's property, under Marcus's roof, surrounded by Marcus's security cameras and Marcus's staff and Marcus's ability to control every single narrative. The baby kicks hard enough to hurt. Jamal's hand moves automatically to his belly, soothing. "I know," he whispers. "I know this is scary." His phone rings, unknown number, but not the same ones from earlier. This one shows a New York area code. He answers without thinking. "Hello." "You made it out," a woman's voice. Young, tired, familiar in a way he can't place. "I didn't think you would, most don't." "Who is this?" "Someone who knows what you're going through." Papers rustle in the background. "My name is Kendra. I worked as Marcus's assistant 3 years ago, before he met Darian. After she stops, breathes. After the one before Darian." Jamal's blood turns to ice. The one before. There's always a one before. Kendra's voice drops to barely a whisper. Marcus finds vulnerable Omegas, offers them safety, luxury, protection from whatever they're running from, makes them believe they're special, that what he feels is love instead of ownership, and when they realize the truth and try to leave. What happens when they try to leave? The silence stretches too long. Traffic sounds filter through Kendra's phone. She's outside somewhere. Public smart. "I don't know all the details. I quit before I could confirm anything. But in the 3 years I worked for Marcus, I saw 7 different Omegas cycle through. Each one lasted 6 months to a year. Each one disappeared without warning. And Marcus always had a story. They moved away, they went back to family, they decided it wasn't working." 7, Jamal's voice cracks. 7 people. "That I know of, could be more before my time." Kendra sounds older than she probably is. "Look, I'm telling you this because you got out. That almost never happens. Marcus's security is too tight, his control too complete. Someone helped you tonight, someone on the inside who knows what he's doing. Don't waste it." "Who helped me? Who sent the texts?" "I don't know, but whoever it is, they're risking their life. Marcus doesn't tolerate betrayal. When he found out one of his guards was skimming money, just $20,000 over 6 months, she stops again. Let's just say the guard's family stopped looking for him after the first week." Jamal thinks about Marcus reading poetry to their unborn baby, Marcus cooking breakfast, Marcus gentle and attentive and perfect. Marcus writing in that journal like Darian was a specimen to be studied. "What should I do?" Jamal hears the desperation in his own voice. Hates it. "I'm pregnant. I don't have family. I don't have anywhere to go that Marcus can't find me." There's a shelter in Connecticut, Westport. They specialize in Omegas escaping dangerous situations. The woman who runs it, Teresa, she knows how to hide people from men like Marcus. I'm texting you the address now. The text comes through, 847 Oak Street, Westport, CT. No name, just an address. "Why are you helping me?" Jamal asks. "Why risk this?" "Because I couldn't help the others." Kendra's voice breaks. "I saw what was happening, and I told myself I was imagining things, that Marcus was difficult but not dangerous, that those Omegas probably did just move away, and now I have to live with that, so if I can save one, if I can save you, maybe that counts for something." She hangs up before Jamal can respond. He sits in the idling SUV, hands on his belly, mind racing through options that all feel like different versions of the same trap. Connecticut means safety, but also isolation. Staying in New York means access to resources, but Marcus's territory. Going to the police means questions he can't answer, and a system that won't protect him from someone with Marcus's money. His phone rings again. This time, the caller ID shows Marcus's name. Jamal's finger hovers over the decline button, but something makes him answer. Some sick need to hear Marcus's voice, to confirm whether the man he fell in love with is real or just another mask. "Jamal," Marcus sounds wrecked, exhausted, almost human. "Thank God, where are you? Are you hurt?" "I'm fine," the lie comes easily. "Terrence is dead," Marcus says it flat, emotionless. "The police showed up, things got complicated, he made a move and a pause. It doesn't matter, what matters is you're safe. Tell me where you are and I'll send someone to pick you up." "Someone to pick me up." Jamal's laugh sounds hysterical even to himself, like a package, like something you misplaced. "That's not what I meant." "How many were there before Darian?" The question explodes out of Jamal. "How many Omegas did you love before you found me?" The silence on the other end of the line stretches too long. That's answer enough. Jamal, listen to me very carefully. Marcus's voice shifts into something colder. The people who helped you tonight, the ones feeding you information, they're not your friends. They're using you to get to me. Every second you spend out there alone, you're in danger. Real danger. Not from me, from my enemies who now know you're vulnerable. I was always vulnerable. You just made sure I didn't realize it. I made sure you were protected. Marcus's control finally cracks. Do you have any idea what I've done to keep you safe? The threats I've eliminated, the deals I've made, the people I've... He stops, breathes. You think you're escaping something. You're not. You're walking into something worse. And when it all falls apart, when you realize you need me, I might not be able to save you. Is that a threat? It's a fact. Marcus sounds tired. I love you, Jamal. I love that baby. But love doesn't make you bulletproof. Come home. We'll figure this out together. Home, the word used to mean safety. Now it just means a prettier prison. Goodbye, Marcus. Jamal, don't. He hangs up, blocks the number, puts the SUV in drive and heads for the George Washington Bridge, Connecticut, Teresa's shelter, a chance to think without Marcus's voice in his ear telling him what's real. The bridge lights blur past, the Hudson River spreads dark below, and somewhere behind him, in the city that belongs to Marcus, 7 other Omegas disappeared without a trace. Jamal presses harder on the gas pedal. The baby kicks like it's cheering him on. The shelter doesn't look like a shelter. Jamal pulls the SUV into the circular driveway at 3 a.m., expecting chain-link fences and security cameras. Instead, he gets a restored Victorian mansion, with ivy climbing the walls and warm light glowing through lace curtains. The kind of place that belongs in a luxury real estate magazine, not a safe house for runaway Omegas. He kills the engine, sits in the dark cab trying to make his legs move. Every muscle aches. The baby hasn't stopped kicking for the last hour, like it knows something's wrong. Or maybe it's just responding to Jamal's racing heartbeat, the adrenaline that's kept him alert since Manhattan. The front door opens before he reaches it. A woman steps out, late 50s, black, with silver locks pulled back and eyes that have seen too much. She wears pajamas and a cardigan, slippers on her feet, like she's been waiting up. Jamal, her voice is gentle. I'm Teresa. Kendra called ahead. Come inside before you catch cold. The warmth hits him as soon as he crosses the threshold. Real warmth, not just temperature. The smell of cinnamon tea brewing, soft music playing somewhere upstairs, furniture that looks lived in instead of staged. Nothing like Marcus's penthouse with its designer everything and museum-perfect arrangement. Teresa guides him to a kitchen that could belong to someone's grandmother. Mismatched mugs hanging from hooks. A bulletin board covered in children's drawings. A cat sleeping on the windowsill. Sit, Teresa pours tea without asking if he wants it. When's the last time you ate? Jamal can't remember. Breakfast yesterday, the day before. Time has turned liquid since he read those first texts. She puts a plate in front of him, grilled cheese and tomato soup, simple and perfect. His hands shake as he picks up the spoon. The first bite tastes like childhood, like safety, like something he thought he'd never feel again. We get a lot of Omegas coming through here. Teresa sits across from him with her own mug of tea. Most of them look exactly like you do right now, exhausted, scared, convinced they made the wrong choice running. Did I, the question comes out small, make the wrong choice? Only you can answer that. Teresa's eyes stay steady on his. But I can tell you this, in 15 years running this shelter, I've never had a single person tell me they regretted leaving. Plenty regretted staying as long as they did. Jamal's phone sits on the table between them. Dark, silent. He blocked Marcus's number, but that doesn't mean Marcus stopped trying. The man has resources, burner phones, secure lines, entire networks of people who owe him favors. He'll find me. Jamal stares at the phone like it might explode. Marcus doesn't lose, he doesn't let go. Men like Marcus, alphas who think Omegas are property, they rely on fear more than actual power. Teresa refills his tea. Yes, he has money. Yes, he has connections. But this house has been here 15 years, and we've sheltered over 200 Omegas from dangerous situations. Not one has been found who didn't want to be found. 200, the number stuns him. That many. That many who made it out, there's probably thousands who didn't. She stands, moves to the window, checks the driveway with the practiced ease of someone who's done it 1,000 times. The system protects men like Marcus. The money, the lawyers, the ability to rewrite narratives. By the time anyone realizes what's happening, it's too late. Footsteps on the stairs. Light, hesitant. A young man appears in the kitchen doorway, early 20s, visibly pregnant, with the kind of haunted eyes that take months to fade. He freezes when he sees Jamal. It's okay, Deshawn. Teresa's voice stays calm. This is Jamal. He arrived tonight. Jamal, this is Deshawn. He's been with us 3 weeks. Deshawn nods but doesn't come closer. His hand rests protectively over his belly. And Jamal recognizes the gesture, the same way he's been standing since this nightmare started. You just get out, Deshawn's voice cracks on the question. Few hours ago, Jamal tries for a smile. It feels wrong on his face, still processing. It gets easier. Deshawn moves into the kitchen slowly, like he's expecting something to jump out. The first week is hell. You'll hear every car outside and think it's him. You'll dream about going back. Your body will physically ache because you're not near your alpha anymore. That's normal. The relief in Jamal's voice surprises him. Unfortunately, Deshawn pours himself water from the tap. The bond between alpha and omega is biological. When you separate, your body goes through withdrawal, like kicking drugs. Teresa has medication that helps, but it still sucks. They sit in silence for a moment. 2 pregnant omegas in a safe house kitchen at 3 a.m., drinking tea and pretending this is normal. What was his name? Deshawn asks quietly. Your alpha. Marcus. Just saying it out loud makes Jamal's chest tight. Marcus LaValle. Deshawn's mug hits the table hard enough to slosh water. His face drains of color. LaValle, Marcus LaValle from Manhattan. Teresa's whole body goes tense. She moves to stand between Deshawn and the door, protective instinct kicking in. You know him. Jamal's heart starts racing again. Know him? Deshawn's laugh sounds broken. My ex-alpha worked for him, security detail. I met Marcus twice at organization events. He stops, shakes his head. God, I'm so sorry you were with him. Why? But Jamal already knows, can feel the answer crawling up his spine. Because Marcus LaValle isn't just dangerous, he's connected. He has people in the police department, the courts, the hospitals. When my ex wanted to find me after I ran, he went to Marcus for advice. Marcus personally funds a network that tracks runaway omegas across 3 states. The room tilts slightly. Jamal grips the table to keep from falling. A network. Private investigators, corrupted social workers, even some shelter employees. Deshawn looks at Teresa. No offense, but how do you know your staff is clean? I don't employ staff. Teresa's voice hardens. It's just me. Has been for 15 years specifically because of people like Marcus. The moment you add employees, you add vulnerability. Jamal's phone lights up on the table. Unknown number. Text message preview shows before he can stop it. Westport is pretty this time of year. His blood turns to ice. He scrambles for the phone, hands shaking so badly he almost drops it, unlocks it, reads the full message. 847 Oak Street, Victorian House. Teresa runs it alone, smart woman, hard to compromise. But the SUV you drove has a tracker in the spare tire. I disabled it 2 hours ago, but Marcus's people already had the ping from Westport. You have until dawn, maybe less. We need to leave. Jamal stands too fast. The chair crashes backward. Now he knows we're here. Teresa moves with surprising speed for her age. Deshawn, wake the others. Jamal, how many people does Marcus have? I don't know, dozens. He runs a... Jamal stops, realizes he's never actually said it out loud. He runs a Mafia organization, the LaValle family. They control half of Manhattan's underground. Of course he does. Teresa sounds tired rather than surprised. It's always the organized ones. They're the hardest to escape because they have systems. Backup plans for backup plans. Footsteps upstairs, more than just Deshawn, at least 3 other people moving around. Teresa runs a shelter alone, but she's not the only one here. How many are we? Jamal asks. 6 now with you. Teresa pulls a go bag from under the sink. 7 if you count my niece Tamara staying in the basement. We have a protocol for this. 3 different safe houses within an hour of here. We split up, spread out, make it harder to track everyone. A car engine in the distance, then another, both moving fast. Deshawn appears in the doorway with 2 other omegas, both pregnant, both terrified. 3 cars coming up the driveway, no headlights. Teresa swears under her breath. That's too fast. They shouldn't have mobilized this quickly. Marcus doesn't waste time. Jamal's voice sounds hollow. When he wants something, he takes it. The basement entrance hides behind a bookshelf in Teresa's office. Deshawn pulls it open with practiced ease, while the others grab coats and shoes, moving with the efficiency of people who have drilled for this exact scenario. Tunnel exits 3 blocks away. Teresa ushers them through. Tamara's already bringing the van around. We have maybe 90 seconds before they breach the front door. Jamal hesitates at the top of the stairs. You're not coming. Someone has to stay, answer questions, buy you time. Teresa's face is set, determined. I've dealt with men like Marcus before, I know how to stall. They'll hurt you, Jamal grabs her arm, when they realize we're gone. I'm a 60-year-old woman running a registered non-profit. They'll threaten, but they won't touch me. Too many witnesses, too many cameras. She gently removes his hand. Besides, someone told Marcus about the tracker. Someone on the inside of his organization is helping you. That person is risking everything. Don't waste it. The front door explodes inward. Not kicked, breached with something heavy, professional. Shouts echo through the house, multiple male voices demanding everyone show themselves. Teresa shoves Jamal toward the stairs. Go, now. The basement is finished but sparse. Concrete floor, exposed pipes, and a metal door at the far end that looks like it belongs in a bank vault. Deshawn spins the combination lock with shaking hands. Behind them, footsteps pound through the house overhead. How long has that tunnel been there? One of the other Omegas, Shanice maybe, Jamal didn't catch all the names, whispers the question. Since Teresa bought the house, Deshawn gets the door open. Underground Railroad wasn't just historical, it's alive and operating every single day. The tunnel is narrow, dark, and smells like damp earth. Someone installed LED strips along the floor, but they only push back the darkness a few feet at a time. Jamal has to turn sideways to fit his pregnant belly through some sections. Behind them, muffled shouting filters through the basement door. They move in silence except for breathing. Heavy, labored breathing from 6 pregnant Omegas trying to run through a tunnel that wasn't designed for speed. Jamal's lungs burn. His back screams. The baby kicks frantically, like it knows they're in danger. The tunnel ends at a ladder. Deshawn goes up first, testing the exit before waving the others up. They emerge in someone's garage, normal suburban garage, bikes hanging on the wall, kids' toys scattered across the floor. Through the windows, Jamal can see a residential street, quiet and dark. A van idles in the driveway. The side door slides open, and a young woman, Tamara has to be, gestures frantically. Get in, they're searching house to house already. They pile in. The van smells like old coffee and children's car seats. Tamara drives like she's done this before, fast but not recklessly fast, taking residential streets instead of main roads, checking her mirrors every few seconds. Where are we going? Shanice asks what they're all thinking. Split drop-off. Tamara takes a sharp left turn. 2 of you to a safe house in Bridgeport, 2 to New Haven, 2 to Hartford. Spread out the risk. What about Teresa? Jamal can't stop thinking about her standing alone in that house, facing down Marcus's people. Teresa can handle herself, but Tamara's voice wavers. She's been doing this longer than I've been alive. She knows how to talk to men like that. Jamal's phone buzzes. He pulls it out expecting another threat, another countdown. Instead, it's a photo. Teresa sitting in her kitchen, hands zip-tied behind her back, one of Marcus's men standing behind her with a gun to her head. The message below, you have 10 minutes to return, or she pays for your choices. Oh God, Jamal's voice breaks. They have her, they're going to kill her. Deshawn looks at the phone. That's Vincent, Marcus's head of security. He doesn't make empty threats. We can't go back. Another Omega, Brianna, sounds close to panic. That's what they want, they'll take all of us. And if we don't, they'll murder an innocent woman. Jamal's hands shake around the phone. This is my fault. Marcus is looking for me. I brought this to her door. Marcus brought this to her door. Tamara's eyes meet his in the rearview mirror. He's the one holding a gun. He's the one making threats. You're the victim here, Jamal. Don't let him twist that around. Another text, another photo. This time it's Teresa's face, blood running from her nose. The message, 8 minutes. Jamal makes a decision he knows is stupid. Knows is exactly what Marcus wants. But he can't sit in this van and watch someone die because of him. Let me out. Absolutely not. Tamara doesn't slow down. She's going to die right now in real time because I ran. Let me out. I'll go back. His voice breaks. I'll figure something out. There's nothing to figure out. Deshawn grabs his shoulder. Marcus will take you back to his penthouse, lock you up, and you'll never see daylight without his permission again. If he's feeling generous, you'll get to deliver that baby before he decides what to do with you. If he's angry, he doesn't finish the sentence. The van stops at a red light. Residential intersection, no other cars. Jamal's hand moves to the door handle before his brain catches up. Jamal, don't! Deshawn reaches for him, but he's already moving. Jamal throws the door open and rolls out onto the pavement. Pregnancy makes it graceless, painful. His hip hits asphalt hard enough to bruise. The van squeals away from the light, Tamara yelling something he doesn't catch. He stands in the empty intersection, phone in hand, trying to catch his breath. His body screams at him that this is wrong, that he's making the worst possible choice. But his mind keeps showing him Teresa's bloody face, her hands zip-tied, the gun pressed to her skull. He opens his phone, types a message to the last unknown number. I'm at the corner of Maple and 5th in Westport. Come get me. Let Teresa go. The response comes in seconds. Stay visible, don't move. Vincent is 3 minutes out. Jamal sits down on the curb, wraps his arms around his belly and tries not to think about what happens next. The baby kicks weakly, like it's already giving up. Headlights appear, black SUV moving fast. It pulls up beside him and the back door opens. Vincent steps out, tall, broad, with the kind of face that never smiles. He's exactly what Jamal expected Marcus's head of security to look like. Get in, not a request. Teresa first, show me proof she's alive and released. Vincent's expression doesn't change. He pulls out his phone, makes a call. Release the woman, clean, no marks except what's already there. He hangs up, satisfied. Show me proof. Vincent's phone buzzes. He turns the screen toward Jamal, a video of Teresa walking out her front door, zip ties cut, moving under her own power toward a neighbor's house. The timestamp shows 30 seconds ago. Jamal gets in the SUV. The door locks automatically. Vincent slides in beside him, and the vehicle pulls away from the curb. Marcus is going to be disappointed. Vincent's voice is flat. He thought you were smarter than this. Where are we going? Where do you think? Vincent doesn't look at him. Back home, back where you belong. The drive takes 2 hours. They don't speak. Vincent makes a few calls in clipped phrases, codes and confirmations that mean nothing to Jamal. The sun starts rising as they cross back into Manhattan. The city looks different in daylight, less magical, more exhausted. The SUV pulls into a private garage Jamal's never seen. Underground, multiple levels down, with security checkpoints every 50 feet. When they finally stop, Vincent opens the door and gestures for him to get out. They're not at the penthouse. This is somewhere else, industrial, cold, with concrete walls and fluorescent lights that buzz, the kind of place where screams don't carry. Marcus is waiting. Vincent walks ahead. Jamal follows because what else can he do? The room they enter is small, windowless. Marcus sits in a leather chair that looks wrong in the utilitarian space. He's still wearing the same suit from last night, now rumpled and stained. His eyes track Jamal from the doorway to the center of the room. You came back. Marcus's voice is quiet, dangerous. I thought I'd have to burn down half of Connecticut to find you. You were hurting Teresa. Jamal forces himself to meet Marcus's eyes. I couldn't let. Teresa, Marcus stands slowly, walks toward him with measured steps. You risked your life, your freedom, and our child for a stranger, a woman you met 3 hours ago. She was innocent. She was helping people. She was helping people steal from me. Marcus stops inches away, close enough that Jamal can smell the whiskey on his breath, the exhaustion in his pores. You are mine, Jamal. That baby is mine. When you ran, you didn't just betray me. You stole my property. I'm not property, but Jamal's voice shakes. Yes, Marcus's hand cups his jaw, thumb pressing hard enough to bruise. You are, and the sooner you accept that, the easier this will be. Marcus keeps him in that concrete room for 3 days. Not physically restrained, that would be too obvious, too crude for someone like Marcus. Instead, the door simply won't open from the inside. Food arrives 3 times a day through a slot. A bathroom connects to the room, basic but functional. A bed with clean sheets. A chair, nothing else. No phone, no windows, no way to tell time except by counting the meals. Jamal spends the first day packing, trying the door every few minutes even though he knows it won't open, yelling until his voice gives out even though nobody comes. The second day he mostly sleeps. Exhaustion from the run, from the fear, from the baby demanding resources his body doesn't have. The third day, he sits on the bed and tries to think his way out of a situation that has no exit. On the 4th morning, Marcus returns. He brings breakfast himself, eggs, toast, fresh fruit, orange juice, sets the tray on the bed like they're having a normal meal together, like Jamal isn't a prisoner in an underground room with no legal recourse. We need to talk about the future. Marcus sits in the chair, crosses his legs. Our future as a family. We're not a family. Jamal's voice is hoarse from disuse. Families don't lock each other up. Families protect each other. Marcus's tone stays patient. You were in danger out there, vulnerable, making decisions based on fear instead of facts. The facts are that you killed Darian. Jamal forces himself to say it out loud. You killed him because he tried to leave. Darian overdosed. Marcus doesn't blink. The coroner confirmed it. Toxicology confirmed it. His own brother confirmed it at the funeral. Terence said you paid off the coroner. Terence was a grieving brother looking for someone to blame. Marcus leans forward. Do you know what actually happened to Darian? The truth, not the conspiracy theory. Jamal doesn't answer. Doesn't want to hear another version of the story that might make sense. That might make Marcus seem less like a monster. Darian struggled with addiction long before I met him. Marcus's voice softens. Pills mostly. He managed it well for 2 years. I supported him through rehab twice, paid for the best treatment programs, and then one night he took too many, mixed them with alcohol, died in his sleep. In an apartment you owned. In an apartment I put him in so he'd have a safe place to recover, so he wouldn't be on the streets where dealers could find him. Marcus runs a hand through his hair. I loved him, Jamal. I tried to save him. And when I couldn't, I made sure his death looked clean. Accidental, because the alternative, ruling it a suicide, would have destroyed his mother. The story sounds reasonable, sounds true. That's what makes it so dangerous. What about the others? Jamal pulls the conversation back. Kendra said there were 7 before Darian. What happened to them? 7, Marcus laughs. Kendra worked for me 18 months. She met exactly 2 of my past relationships, both of whom are alive and well. One's married with kids in Seattle. The other runs a bakery in Portland. I can give you their numbers if you want to confirm. You're lying, but Jamal's conviction wavers. Call them. Marcus pulls out a phone, not Jamal's, a different one, unlocks it and shows him the contacts. Here, Sarah Winters, Maya Chen, both exes. Both escaped the supposedly horrible Marcus LaValle and lived to tell about it. Jamal stares at the names. They look real, feel real, but Marcus is good at making lies look like truth. Why should I believe anything you say? Because I'm giving you proof instead of demanding blind faith. Marcus sets the phone on the bed beside the breakfast tray. Call them, ask them about me, ask them if I was the monster Terence claimed. It feels like a trap. Everything Marcus does feels like a trap. But Jamal picks up the phone anyway, scrolls to Sarah Winters, hits call before he can talk himself out of it. 3 rings, a woman answers, voice bright and friendly. Hello. Is this Sarah Winters? Jamal's heart pounds. Yeah, who's this? My name is Jamal. He glances at Marcus. I'm involved with Marcus LaValle. I was told you used to date him. Silence on the other end. Then, oh yeah, God, that was years ago, like 4 years. Why are you calling me? Someone told me Marcus is dangerous, that he hurts his partners. I wanted to know if... What? No, Jesus, no. Sarah sounds genuinely shocked. Marcus and I dated for like 8 months. It didn't work out because I wanted kids and he wasn't ready, so we split. It was amicable. We still exchange Christmas cards. You're not afraid of him? Afraid of Marcus, Sarah laughs. He's intense, sure, kind of controlling about security stuff, but violent, abusive. That's insane. Who told you that? Jamal hangs up without answering, calls Maya Chen, gets a similar story, dated Marcus, relationship ended naturally, no hard feelings. She even asks him to say hi to Marcus for her. He sets the phone down slowly. Everything he thought he knew fractures apart. Terence lied to you, Marcus says it gently. He was grieving, angry, looking for someone to blame for his brother's death. And you were the perfect tool, vulnerable, pregnant, easy to manipulate. He fed you a story designed to make you run, and you believed it. But the journal, I saw the journal with Darian's name. I kept journals about all my relationships. I still keep one about us. Marcus stands, moves to the bed. I write about your favorite foods, the books you like, the way you smile when you're genuinely happy. Does that make me obsessive? Maybe, but it doesn't make me dangerous. Jamal's head spins. The narrative he built, Marcus as villain, himself as victim, crumbles under the weight of actual evidence. But something still feels wrong, still doesn't fit. If Terence was lying, why did someone help me escape? Why did someone inside your organization give me information and a car? Marcus's expression darkens. That's an excellent question, one I've been investigating for 4 days while you've been safe in here. He pulls out a different phone, opens a video file, turns the screen toward Jamal. The video shows a parking garage. Jamal recognizes it immediately, the sublevel where the SUV was waiting. A figure approaches the vehicle, places something in the glove box. The timestamp shows 30 minutes before Jamal arrived. The figure turns toward the camera. It's Vincent, Marcus's head of security. Vincent, Jamal's voice cracks, but he's the one who brought me back. Vincent was the one feeding information to Terrence. Marcus's voice goes cold. He's been on Terrence's peril for 6 months, waiting for the perfect opportunity to hurt me, and when you got pregnant, you became that opportunity. The video continues, shows Vincent meeting with someone in a parking lot, money changing hands. The timestamp is from 3 months ago. Vincent helped you escape knowing exactly what would happen. You'd run, I'd chase, and in the chaos, Terrence could make his move. Marcus closes the video. It was never about saving you, it was about destroying me. Jamal feels sick. The baby kicks weakly, sensing his distress. Where is Vincent now? Dead, Marcus says it without emotion. I don't tolerate betrayal, you know that. The casual admission sends ice through Jamal's veins. This is still the Marcus who kills people who cross him, who eliminates problems with violence. The Marcus who might be telling the truth about his exes, but is still dangerous. What happens now? Jamal asks quietly. Marcus sits beside him on the bed, takes his hand gently. Now you choose. You can believe the lies Terrence fed you and spend the rest of your life running from a threat that doesn't exist. Or you can believe me, come home, and we raise our child together. That's not a choice, that's an ultimatum. It's reality. Marcus squeezes his hand. I love you, Jamal. I've loved you from the moment I met you, and I will protect you and our baby with everything I have, but I can't protect you from yourself. I can't save you from running into danger because you're too stubborn to see the truth. The breakfast sits untouched on the tray. The room feels smaller than it did minutes ago. Jamal looks at Marcus, really looks at him, and sees exhaustion, frustration, and something that might actually be love. Or might be the world's best performance. I need time. Jamal pulls his hand away. I need to think. You have until the end of this week. Marcus stands. After that, I have to make decisions about security, about protection, about whether keeping you in my life is worth the risk you pose to yourself and our child. He leaves the room. The door locks behind him with a soft click. Jamal sits alone with Sarah's voice in his head, Maya's confirmation, and the video of Vincent's betrayal playing on loop. Everything he believed is wrong, or everything Marcus wants him to believe is a carefully constructed lie. He has 4 days to figure out which. Teresa shows up on the 6th day. The door opens and she walks in like she owns the place. No zip ties this time, no blood, just her silver locks and determined expression and the kind of energy that fills a room. Jamal scrambles off the bed. How did you? Marcus let me in. Teresa sets her bag down. We need to talk, alone. He's giving us 20 minutes. He let you in. Jamal processes this slowly. The woman who runs a shelter for escaped Omegas. He just let you walk into his secure facility. Marcus and I have history. Teresa sits in the chair like they're having tea instead of a prison visit. I've been running that shelter 15 years. He's been operating in Manhattan for 12. We've crossed paths before. We have an understanding. An understanding. The word tastes bitter. You help Omegas escape dangerous alphas and he, lets you. It's more complicated than that. Teresa pulls out a folder, sets it on the bed between them. I've been digging into your situation since you left, made some calls, pulled some records. And Jamal, I need you to understand something before I show you this. Her tone makes his stomach drop. What? Marcus LaValle is not a good man. He runs a criminal organization. He's done terrible things. People have died because of his orders. Teresa meets his eyes, but in this specific situation with you, I don't think he's lying. She opens the folder. Inside are printed documents, medical records, police reports, photographs. Jamal recognizes Darian's face in several of them. Darian Mitchell died of a fentanyl overdose on March 15, 2022. Toxicology confirmed it. The coroner's report is legitimate. I had a friend in the medical examiner's office verify it independently. Teresa sorts through papers. He had a history of addiction. 3 stints in rehab between 2020 and 2022. Marcus paid for all of them. Terrence said Marcus killed him. Terrence said a lot of things. Teresa pulls out another document. This is Terrence Mitchell's criminal record. Armed robbery at 19, assault at 22, extortion at 24. He's been on a revenge mission against Marcus since Darian's death, convinced that someone with Marcus's power must have been responsible. Maybe he was. Jamal's voice sounds weak even to himself. Maybe. Teresa doesn't sugarcoat it, but I can't prove it, and neither can Terrence. The evidence says accidental overdose. Everything else is speculation driven by grief. She pulls out more papers. Sarah Winters, alive and well in Seattle, married with 2 kids. I called her myself. She spoke fondly of Marcus. Maya Chen runs a successful bakery in Portland, also spoke well of him. I found 3 other exes, all alive, all moved on with their lives. What about Kendra's story, the 7 Omegas who disappeared? I tracked down Kendra. Teresa's expression hardens. She worked for Marcus exactly 18 months. She met 2 of his exes, both of whom she assumed represented a larger pattern because of her own trauma. Kendra escaped an abusive alpha when she was 20. She sees predators everywhere now, even when they're not there. The folder feels heavy, final, like it's closing a door Jamal thought was still open. So Marcus is telling the truth. His voice cracks about everything. About Darian, yes. About his exes, yes. About Vincent's betrayal, yes. Teresa pauses. But that doesn't mean you're safe with him. What? Marcus LaValle is a mafia boss. He operates outside the law. He solves problems with violence and money. He killed Vincent without trial or due process. Teresa leans forward. Just because he's not the monster Terrence painted doesn't mean he's not dangerous. Complicated people can still hurt you. Truth and safety aren't the same thing. Jamal's hands shake. Then what am I supposed to do? That depends on what you want. Teresa's voice gentles. Do you love him? Not the idea of him, not the safety he provides, but the actual man, flaws and violence and criminal empire included. The question sits heavy. Jamal thinks about Marcus reading poetry to their unborn baby. Marcus cooking breakfast and remembering how Jamal likes his eggs. Marcus's face when Jamal said he was pregnant, pure joy and terror and determination. Marcus putting a diamond collar around his neck and calling it love. I don't know, the admission hurts. I don't know what's real anymore. Then here's my advice. Teresa stands. You have leverage right now that you'll never have again. You're pregnant with his child. He wants you back. He's willing to negotiate. Negotiate what? Everything, your freedom within the relationship, your ability to maintain connections outside his world, your access to resources if you choose to leave in the future. Teresa pulls a business card from her pocket. This is my lawyer. She specializes in Omega rights. She can draw up a contract that protects you even if you stay with Marcus. A contract, the idea feels absurd and practical at the same time. Prenuptial agreements exist for marriages. Why not for Alpha Omega bonds? Teresa taps the card. If you stay, you do it on your terms, not his. You negotiate your safety, your autonomy, your exit strategy. You make him put it in writing with legal consequences if he violates it. A knock on the door. Marcus's voice filters through. Time's up. Teresa squeezes Jamal's shoulder. Whatever you choose, make sure it's actually your choice. Not fear, not pressure, not lack of options. Your choice. She leaves. Marcus enters. They pass each other in the doorway without speaking, but something passes between them. Recognition, maybe. Mutual respect between 2 people who operate in moral gray areas. Marcus looks at the folder still open on the bed. She showed you everything, not a question. Jamal nods, can't find words yet. Marcus moves to the window that doesn't exist, just stares at the concrete wall like he can see through it. I didn't ask her to come. She called me, said she needed to see you before you made any decisions, said she owed you the truth. Why would you let her in? She helps Omegas escape people like you. People like me? Marcus's laugh is hollow. You know what Teresa told me the first time we met. She said not all dangerous men are evil and not all safe places are good. She runs that shelter with no employees, no oversight, completely off the books. You think that's legal? You think she's never bent rules or broken laws to protect someone? Jamal hadn't considered that. Teresa with her grandmother's kitchen and warm tea, operating an illegal safe house, hiding people from law enforcement, destroying paper trails. We're all criminals in our own way. Marcus turns back to face him. The only difference is who society decides to punish. That's not the same. She helps people, you hurt people. I protect my people. Sometimes that means hurting someone else's people. Marcus moves closer. Do you know how many assassination attempts I've stopped in the last 5 years? 14. 14 different organizations or individuals who wanted me dead and were willing to kill anyone near me to make it happen, including you, including our baby. Is that supposed to make me grateful? It's supposed to make you understand the world you're living in. Marcus sits on the bed. When you chose me, when you fell in love with me that first night, you didn't just choose a man. You chose a life. A dangerous, complicated life that doesn't fit into normal categories of good and evil. The baby kicks, strong this time, like it's tired of being ignored. Jamal's hand moves automatically to the spot. Teresa said I should negotiate. The words come out before he can stop them. Make demands, get it in writing. Marcus's expression shifts, surprise, then something that looks like pride. Smart woman, what do you want to negotiate? I want, Jamal stops, thinks. This is the moment Teresa warned him about, the leverage he'll never have again. I want the truth about everything. No more journals I find by accident. No more secrets about past relationships or business deals or enemies I should know about. Agreed, no hesitation. I want access to my own money, not your money, mine. Enough that if I need to leave, I can, and you can't freeze the accounts or make them disappear. Marcus's jaw tightens. How much? 5 million. That's a lot of trust to show someone who just ran away. That's the point. Jamal holds his ground. If you trust me not to run, prove it. Give me the means to leave and watch me choose to stay. Silence stretches between them. Outside the room, somewhere far above, traffic sounds filter down, the normal world continuing while they negotiate the terms of an abnormal life. Done, Marcus extends his hand. 5 million in an account only you can access. What else? I want Teresa's shelter funded, anonymously, enough that she can hire staff, upgrade security, help more people. You want me to fund the organization that helps Omegas escape from alphas like me? Yes. Why? Because if you really believe you're not the monster Terrence claimed, then you shouldn't be afraid of giving people options. Jamal's voice strengthens. And because if I'm wrong about you, if someday I need to run, I want there to be a place for people like me. Marcus studies him for a long moment. You're either incredibly brave or incredibly stupid. Can't it be both? The laugh that escapes Marcus sounds surprised. Real, 25 million to Teresa's shelter, anonymous donation, but I get quarterly reports on how it's spent. Deal. Deal, Jamal takes a breath. One more thing. Of course there is. The collar, Jamal touches his neck where the diamond necklace used to sit. I'm not wearing it anymore. If I stay, if we do this, it's not because I'm marked as your property. It's because I choose you every single day. And the day I stop choosing you, I can leave. No retaliation, no hunting me down, no violence. This time, Marcus doesn't answer immediately. The muscle in his jaw works like he's grinding through something difficult. That's not how bonds work in my world. Then change your world. Jamal stands to face him properly. Because I'm not living in a system where leaving means death. If you love me the way you claim, prove it by letting me have the option to walk away. And if you walk away, if you take my child, I won't keep the baby from you. I'll never use our child as a weapon, but I won't stay in a relationship out of fear either. Marcus closes his eyes. When he opens them, something in his expression has shifted, softened. My mother left my father when I was 7, took me and disappeared into the night. He spent 3 years looking for us. When he found us, he killed her in front of me, to teach me what happens when someone takes what's his. The confession lands heavy. Jamal sees it now, the shape of Marcus's fear, the reason for the control, not cruelty for its own sake, terror that history will repeat. I'm not your mother, Jamal says it gently, and you're not your father, you can choose a different ending. Can I? Marcus's voice cracks. Everyone I've ever loved has either left or died. Darian overdosed rather than stay with me. Sarah wanted kids I wasn't ready for. Maya wanted a normal life I couldn't give. You ran the moment someone gave you a reason to doubt me. Because you never gave me a reason to trust you completely. You gave me luxury and protection and sex and promises, but you never gave me autonomy. Jamal moves closer. I don't need you to be perfect. I need you to be honest. I need to know that if I stay, it's because we both choose this every single day, not because I'm trapped. Marcus's hands tremble, barely visible, but there. This man who kills without hesitation, who built an empire on violence and fear, shaking at the possibility of real vulnerability. If I agree to this, all of it, and you still leave, then you'll know you did everything right and it still wasn't enough, and that's life. Jamal takes Marcus's hand, but at least you'll know I left because I wanted to, not because I had no choice. There's dignity in that, for both of us. The clock on the wall, digital, institutional, marks time in red numbers. Marcus stares at their joined hands for 30 seconds. A minute, 2 minutes. Okay, the word comes out rough. Okay, we do it your way, no collars, your own money, freedom to leave. I'll have my lawyer draw up a contract. Teresa's lawyer. What? We use Teresa's lawyer, someone who represents my interests, not yours. Jamal squeezes his hand. That's part of the deal. Marcus laughs again, this time with genuine humor. You've learned a lot in 6 days. I learned what it costs to run. Jamal's voice drops, and I learned that sometimes the scariest choice is staying. Marcus pulls him close, not rough or demanding, just holding him like he's afraid Jamal might disappear. I can't promise I'll be easy to love. My world is dark. It will touch you and our child. There will be danger I can't always prevent. I know. Jamal rests his head against Marcus's chest. Hears the steady heartbeat beneath expensive fabric and criminal violence. But I'd rather face danger with someone honest than live in luxury built on lies. The baby kicks between them. Marcus's hand joins Jamal's on his belly, and for the first time since this nightmare started, the gesture feels like partnership instead of possession. We have a lot to figure out. Marcus's voice rumbles against Jamal's ear. Lawyers, contracts, how to explain this to my organization. They're not going to understand why I'm giving you this much power. Then they'll learn. Jamal pulls back to meet his eyes. Or they'll leave. Either way, this is the deal. Take it or I walk right now. Marcus kisses him, slow and deep and full of everything words can't hold. When they break apart, his eyes are wet. I'll take it. He rests his forehead against Jamal's. I'll take whatever version of us you're willing to give me. 3 months later, Jamal stands in the hospital delivery room, with Marcus's hand crushing his. The contractions hit like earthquakes. Every muscle in his body works toward one singular purpose, while nurses move around him with efficient calm. Marcus hasn't left his side for 11 hours, hasn't checked his phone, hasn't stepped away, hasn't done anything except breathe with Jamal through each wave. You're doing great, the doctor's voice filters through the pain. One more push, that's all we need. Jamal pushes with everything he has left, feels something give. Hears a sound that's not quite a cry yet, more like a protest, an announcement of arrival. It's a girl. The doctor lifts a tiny, perfect human into view. Healthy lungs, strong heartbeat, congratulations. They place her on Jamal's chest. She's red and wrinkled and covered in vernix, and absolutely the most beautiful thing he's ever seen. Her eyes squint against the light. Her fist waves in the air like she's already arguing with the world. Marcus makes a sound Jamal's never heard from him before, something between a laugh and a sob. His hand touches their daughter's head with the kind of gentleness Jamal didn't know he was capable of. She has your nose, Marcus's voice breaks. Look at her, she's perfect. The nurses take her to clean and weigh and measure, but Jamal can still feel the weight of her on his chest. The reality of her. Proof that something good can come from complicated choices and messy negotiations and love that doesn't fit into normal categories. Teresa visits the next day, brings flowers and a gift bag full of practical things, onesies, diapers, the kind of newborn supplies new parents always forget. She holds the baby with the ease of someone who's done this 1,000 times, cooing softly while the infant sleeps. What's her name? Teresa asks. Jamal and Marcus exchange a look. They've been debating this for 3 months. Couldn't agree on anything until yesterday, in the delivery room, when everything became clear. Hope, Jamal says it quietly. Her name is Hope. Teresa's eyes fill. That's perfect. Marcus sits in the chair beside the hospital bed, looking exhausted and happy and terrified in equal measure. The contract Teresa's lawyer drew up sits in a safe deposit box, 30 pages of legal protection and negotiated autonomy. They both signed it. Both agreed to terms that make Marcus's organization uncomfortable and give Jamal power most omegas in his position never get. It's not a fairy tale. It's not a romance novel ending where love conquers all and everything is simple. But it's real. It's honest. And for the first time since that text message appeared on his phone, Jamal feels like he's standing on solid ground. There's something I need to tell you both. Teresa hands Hope back to Jamal. About that night, about who helped you escape. Marcus's expression sharpens. I thought Vincent. Vincent was working for Terrence, but someone else gave Jamal the original information. Someone inside your organization who knew about Darien, knew where to find the journal, knew the codes to your locks. Teresa pulls out her phone, shows them a photo. It's a woman, black, early 30s, wearing Marcus's organization uniform. Jamal recognizes her vaguely, sees her sometimes at the penthouse, always in the background, always efficient and invisible. Shayla, Marcus stares at the photo, my operations manager. Shayla Mitchell, Teresa lets the name hang. Terrence and Darien's cousin. She's been embedded in your organization for 4 years, feeding information to Terrence, waiting for the right moment to destroy you. The room goes cold. Marcus stands slowly, his whole body shifting into the predator mode Jamal recognizes too well. She's still working for me. His voice drops to something dangerous. 4 years, how did I miss this? Because she's good and because she was patient. Teresa puts her phone away. I'm telling you now because she's planning something bigger. The escape attempt was just the opening move. She has allies inside your organization. People loyal to Terrence's memory. They're planning to hit you where it hurts. My family, Marcus looks at Jamal and Hope. They're coming after my family. Not if you move first. Teresa stands. I didn't come here just to deliver news. I came to offer help. My network, my resources, my people. We can find every single person working with Shayla and neutralize them before they move. Why would you help me? Marcus's distrust shows clearly. You run a shelter for Omegas escaping from people like me. Because Jamal chose you, and I trust Jamal's judgment. Teresa moves to the door. Also because Shayla and her people don't just want revenge on you. They want to destabilize the power structure in Manhattan. The vacuum they'd create would be worse than what exists now. Sometimes the devil you know is better than the chaos that comes after. She leaves before either of them can respond. The hospital room feels smaller suddenly. Hope sleeps peacefully in Jamal's arms, completely unaware that her life already exists in the crosshairs of someone else's revenge. I should have seen it, Marcus paces. 4 years, she's been in my inner circle for 4 years. You can't see everything. Jamal adjusts Hope's blanket. That's why the contract exists, why I have my own resources. So when threats come, and they will come, we face them together instead of you trying to control everything alone. Marcus stops packing, looks at his partner and his daughter and the life he's trying to build from the wreckage of his past. I don't know how to do this, how to be vulnerable and strong at the same time, how to protect you without controlling you. Nobody knows how at first. Jamal smiles despite the fear. We figure it out as we go together. The next week brings chaos. Marcus's security teams move through his organization like surgeons removing cancer. Shayla disappears, either fled or dead, Marcus won't say which, and Jamal doesn't ask. 7 other members of the organization get cut loose. The power structure shifts, realigns, finds new equilibrium. Through it all, Jamal stays at the penthouse with Hope. Not because he's trapped, not because he's afraid to leave, but because he chooses to stay. Because the $5 million in his private account sits untouched. Because the door stays unlocked and he could walk out anytime he wants. And doesn't. Marcus comes home each night exhausted, sits with Hope while Jamal showers, changes diapers without complaint, reads to their daughter from first edition poetry books worth more than most people's houses, slowly, carefully, learns how to be a father instead of just a boss. One night, 2 months after Hope's birth, Jamal finds Marcus standing at the nursery window at 3 a.m., just watching their daughter sleep. The city glows behind them through floor-to-ceiling glass, Manhattan spread out like a kingdom, beautiful and dangerous, and theirs. I used to think power meant control. Marcus doesn't turn around. That if I just controlled enough variables, eliminated enough threats, kept everyone exactly where I wanted them, nothing bad could happen. And now, Jamal comes to stand beside him. Now I know that's a lie people tell themselves. Marcus's hand finds Jamal's in the darkness. Real power is letting someone have the choice to destroy you and trusting them not to. You could take Hope and disappear tomorrow. You have the resources, the legal protection, everything you need, but you stay. Because you let me choose to stay, that's the difference. Jamal squeezes his hand. Your father kept your mother prisoner, and she ran the first chance she got. You gave me freedom and I stayed. That's not weakness, that's trust. Hope makes a small sound in her sleep. Both of them freeze, waiting to see if she'll wake. She doesn't, just settles deeper into her blanket, dreaming whatever Barbie's dream. Teresa was right about one thing. Marcus's voice drops to barely a whisper. Most people will never know this exists. This system we built. This way of loving someone in a world designed to make love impossible. The contract, the negotiations, the choice to stay when leaving is an option. And that's exactly why it works. Jamal leans against him. Because we're not performing for anyone. We're not following rules someone else wrote. We made our own rules, messy and complicated and ours. The city pulses below them. Millions of people living their own complicated stories, making their own impossible choices, figuring out how to love in a world that doesn't make it easy. Somewhere out there, an Omega is texting an unknown number. Somewhere, an Alpha is trying to figure out the difference between protection and possession. Somewhere, someone is choosing to stay when everyone expects them to run. Marcus pulls Jamal closer. I love you, not because I own you, not because you're carrying my child, carried my child, just because you're you, difficult and brave and refusing to make anything easy. I love you too, Jamal says it without reservation. Not despite what you are, because of it, because you're trying to be better even when it's hard, even when your world doesn't reward it. Hope yawns in her sleep, stretches her tiny arms above her head. A perfect, innocent life born from imperfect choices and negotiated love, and the radical act of choosing each other every single day. The sun starts to rise over Manhattan, pink and orange light bleeding across skyscrapers, a new day beginning for the city that never really sleeps. In the nursery of a penthouse apartment, a former Mafia boss and a freed Omega stand together watching their daughter, building something that shouldn't work according to every rule society and biology and power structures write, building it anyway, because sometimes the most revolutionary act is staying when you have every reason to leave. Sometimes love isn't about grand gestures or perfect romances. Sometimes it's about contracts and negotiations and choosing trust over fear. Sometimes it's about recognizing that people are complicated, that dangerous doesn't always mean evil, and that the right choice isn't always the easy one. Most people will never know this kind of love exists, will never understand the courage it takes to negotiate freedom within commitment, to demand autonomy while choosing partnership, to see someone's darkest parts and stay anyway. And that's exactly why it works. Because it was never about what anyone else thought. It was always about two people deciding that their story didn't have to follow anyone else's script, that love could be messy and complicated and real, that staying could be just as brave as leaving, that hope, both the emotion and the sleeping infant, could bloom even in the darkest soil. Marcus kisses Jamal's temple, soft, reverent, full of promises written in lawyer-drafted contracts and kept through daily choice rather than biological compulsion. We should get some sleep. Jamal pulls away reluctantly. She'll be up again in 2 hours. 2 hours of sleep sounds like luxury. Marcus follows him to their bedroom. Behind them, Hope sleeps peacefully, unaware of the complicated circumstances of her birth, unaware of the negotiations and escape attempts and violence that brought her parents to this moment. Just a baby in a safe home with parents who chose each other every single day. That choice, renewed every morning, tested by every challenge, strengthened by every negotiation, that was the real ending. Not perfect, not simple, but theirs. And in a world where power usually corrupts and love usually breaks, that was enough. Thank you for following Jamal and Marcus's story. If this resonated with you, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our next story. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your perspective might inspire someone else facing impossible choices. Because every story shared is another person who knows they're not alone. Until next time, keep choosing brave.